Wow, what a great sprint race from the Ferraris. They're ducking and diving all over the place. Oh no, George the Russell, watch out for that barrier. Wow, what a great start to the race. Lando? Where's Lando? Oh, look at this. Charles Leclerc goes into the lead. Yay! Okay, come on, Lando. Come on, you can do it. Pass him, Lando. Come on, pass him, you pussy. Come on. Lap 48. Come on, Lando. Pass. Yes, he's passed him. Fantastic. Last lap of the race. Wait. What do you mean you got a penalty? Oh, you absolute plum. Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Yes, it was the USA Grand Prix, the first of a triple header before we get a tiny little break before we go into the second triple header before the end of the season at Abu Dhabi. And oh my goodness, what a USA Grand Prix it was. Yes, Lando Norris was on pole, but from the start he got left behind. And in fact, Max Verstappen got past him. But more importantly than that, Charles Leclerc went into the lead and he led all the way to the checkered flag. Oh my goodness. Yes, what a race that was. Unfortunately, my local broadcaster, Channel 4, decided not to put the race on until 10 to 1 in the morning. Yes, so I saw it very, very late. Very, very late. I might actually go back to sleep in a minute. But yeah, there it was. The USA Grand Prix. And what can we say about quite possibly the most controversial point of that race, which was Lando Norris? I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. He got past. It was clear as day that he should have given the place back. He should have given the place back straight away. He was halfway to Mexico off the circuit, rejoined again. What on earth in his mind thought that he'd get away with it? What? I know Max was there in the zone and he was pushing him as well, but he was still went so wide. He should have just given the place back straight away. There was still 5 laps until the finish. Still 5 laps. He could have given it a go. I mean, I'm just looking back to the days of Senna and Nigel Mansell. I think it was in Monaco when he had a puncher to come in for a pit stop and came out, and it was like 30 laps or 36 laps of trying to get past, and he didn't do it. Mansell didn't get past Senna, but he tried his hardest. But these kids today, they've just got no patience. And they think they can get away with things when clearly that was a violation of the rules. He was way off the track. As I say, he should have given the place back straight away and then fought for the next 5 laps. Because at the end of the day, if he hadn't have got past Maxi Boy, he would have ended up just behind him. Now, he's got a penalty, and where did he end up? Just behind him. It just makes no logical sense to me. No logical sense. Clearly, he was way off the circuit. He should have just given that place back. Lando just, I don't know whether he's just got a very sort of funny brain that doesn't work how it should do. I don't know. I really don't know. But when the decisions need to be made, he's just not making them. He's just, just going with the flow. He seems like a very chilled guy, but in that situation, he was too chilled. He should have just given the place back straight away. And as I say, there was still 5 laps to go. He could have fought again, because I think he would have got past Max. Max was complaining earlier that his tyres, those hard tyres on the Red Bull, which don't seem to suit the Red Bull, were absolutely shot. He said that. He said, I'm struggling. And so I think he still would have got past him about 2 or 3 laps later, legitimately, without any of this steward's inquiry. Now, I have to give props to the stewards there, because they had very limited time to look at that and get a decision made. And they did make the decision right on the last lap. They said, no, sorry, Lando, that is a penalty. And I think that was right as well. That was the right thing to do, because clearly he was way off the track. So he should have got a penalty. But yeah, it's just very, very strange. Very, very strange. I'm surprised the team weren't more decisive as well. McLaren, they seem to be like dithering about. We don't know, Lando, really. What? Fuck's sake, make a decision. Make a decision. Say to Lando, give the place back, because we're pretty sure that that's not going to be allowed, and then fight for him again for the last 5 laps. How difficult is it to say that to Lando Norris? I don't know. He's not a prince of some, country, is he? He's just Lando Norris. You're supposed to tell your driver when you want him to do things. And there was just nothing. There was just dithering about, which seems to be a pattern with McLaren, I have to say. There's a lot of dithering about, and not quite sure. Little bit of, dare I say, but I'm going to say it, a little bit of wokiness coming into McLaren there, because they just don't seem to be able to make up their bloody minds. And I'll make up their minds for them. If that was me, I would have said straight away, Lando, give the place back to him, but fight now. Fight for it again. But there was just nothing. There's just nothing. Very poor decisions all round at McLaren and with the team as well. It's just very, very weak and watered down, and in situations like that, you need aggression. God, I miss the days of Patrick Head. Yes, I miss those days of Patrick Head, because he would have sorted that out in seconds. Yes, he would have done. He'd have said, Lando, give that bloody place back, you plum. Oh dear, poor old Patrick. But yeah, it's just remarkable to me. But anyway, we've got to say congratulations before I finish this video to Charles Leclerc, because yes, he did what needed to be done. It was a little bit sneaky, because there was Verstappen and there was Lando sort of, I don't know, which way should I go? Shall I go this way or that way? And there was a little bit of argy-bargy going on. But, Charles Leclerc, he looked at this and he went, you know what, lads? I'm just going to do a gentleman's excuse me here, and I'm just going to go past. Is that okay? Look, you just fight it out, and I'm just going to go past you right here, okay? And he did. The sneaky little git. But props to him for doing that, because he won the race, and that was great. So yes, oh God, yes. So it's time for the autopsy. What was that I said a while ago about Lando Norris winning the? Well, didn't I make a thumbnail about? Yeah. Anyway, Lando's lost a few points. Lost a few points now to Maxi Boy Verstappen, and I have to say, looking at Maxi's car, there seems to be an improvement in performance, especially in the sprint race, as you see, because Max was away and gone. So. Yeah, it seems to be that the Red Bull isn't very good on the long runs during the race, and that seems to be really punishing them. They seem to have a real problem with the long runs. I mean, that sprint race, when it's just the medium tyres, which is the only tyre set you can go on, which was clearly enough to do the race on, because I think it was 19 laps for the sprint. It was clearly enough. He was fine, absolutely fine. But I think once those tyres start to wear on that Red Bull on the longer runs, I think they have some serious problems. As I say, he was complaining over the radio saying that his hard tyres were absolutely, finished and crap and not doing their job. Hard tyres. I mean, in theory, a hard tyre, if you really don't push it too hard, should be able to do at least half of any Grand Prix on a hard tyre. Should be able to do that easily. Half a Grand Prix. And yet he was saying that they were absolutely, dreadful and finished and whatever. So yeah, it seems to be that Red Bull is not very good on those long runs. So Lando's got an opportunity there, because his car is it is the best out there, because he was catching Verstappen. No two ways about it. You could see visually that he was catching Verstappen, and he could have got past him legally, without any problems. He could have got past him. Now, I did see after the race that people have said that also Max Verstappen was fully off the track. All four wheels were past that blue line, which seems to be the denominator now for going off track. That blue line, he was as well. So there's going to be a bit of controversy, I do believe, saying that there's some kind of favouritism for Max Verstappen. I'm sure there'll be a few words from Zach Brown about that. Yes, I'm sure there will be about favouritism. But yes, he probably was off the track as well, but he didn't gain any advantage, because he was trying to push Lando as far as he could, and he was still sort of within the track limits. But as I say, they're saying that he was fully off. but not as fully off as Lando Norris, who was halfway to Narnia. Yes, halfway to Narnia. Absolutely. Just way off the circuit. And he just rejoined, and he rejoined in front, and I couldn't believe it. I went, it's okay. It's okay. He's going to slow down, and he's going to let Verstappen. But he didn't. He carried on going, and there was absolutely nothing coming from Lando or the team. It's just like, oh, little Sunday drive. I'll just keep going. Yeah, I'll just keep going. Yeah, this is all right. Yeah, no problem whatsoever. Now, of course, I was watching the highlights. I don't know whether there was something said during the live broadcast, which obviously may have been missed in the highlights. I don't know. But from what I could see, for a couple of laps after that, there was just nothing. And then Lando came over the radio and said, well, did we get away with that or didn't we get away? Oh, yeah, I don't know, Lando. I don't know. So much indecision. So much indecision at McLaren. Zach Brown, you need to sort that out. You really do. You need to really get your team buckled down and be able to make the big decisions. Otherwise, you're not going to win a world championship, because obviously a lot of people are looking at this and thinking that next year you are going to be the championship contenders. Well, you're not going to be with this situation. You're really not, because it's just ridiculous. You cannot have such a lackluster effort from your team and from Lando basically as well, because as I say, he was just like putting along like it was a Sunday drive, and he just passed Verstappen illegally, and he knew he'd passed it. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Anyway, that has been the weekend of the USA Grand Prix. There's been a few other incidents. I believe that Fernando Alonso came over the radio and said that Liam Lawson, who of course has now replaced Daniel Ricciardo, he said, who is this idiot? Which caused a little bit of controversy. I noticed in a lot of the comments that people said, I think this was from people who have only really watched Formula One for a very short amount of time. The comments, they were saying, "Whoa, what the hell's Fernando doing, saying stuff like that? He's only just doing his first race and whatever." But some of the die-hard fans of F1 that have been in the sport for a long time were saying, "What are you talking about, you plums? This is Fernando Alonso. He's been like that since day one." And yes, of course he has. It hasn't really been noticed recently because he's basically been just getting on with the job and he hasn't really had any sort of cause to complain about anything. But believe me, Fernando Alonso has been a complaining little bitch since the first day he entered Formula One. Yes, has nobody remembered the year of hell with Lulu at McLaren? Has everyone forgotten about? I'm not quite sure, but yeah, he was a complete arsewipe, But I just love him. I just love him for it, because he is a character, and there's so little characters. There's him, and I think there's Lulu, and I think that's it. Real characters. I don't class Maxi Boy as a character at all. He just doesn't do it for me. But apart from Fernando Alonso and Lulu, I think they're the only two real characters left, I think, to be honest. I think that's it. So yeah, so a little bit of controversy for Fernando Alonso there, but we won't worry about that. And I'm sure Fernando won't lose any sleep about it either. But so yeah, that was the USA Grand Prix, as I say. Lando's lost a few points to Verstappen, but not that many. And don't forget, there's still 2 sprint rounds to go. But of course, if Max keeps winning these sprint rounds, it's not going to be looking very good for Lando whatsoever. But anyway, 5 more rounds of this enormous World Championship this year. 24 races for 2024. I hope it's not going to be 25 next year and they're just going to keep doing that. 26. No. But yes, it's been an enormous. I think I'm right in saying this has been the biggest season ever in Formula One. Maybe back in the day there was. Well, I don't think there was. I'm just trying to think, and I can't think of any championship that's had 24 races in it. I really can't. Not back. I mean, back in the 80s and the 90s, you were looking at 16, 17, 18 round championships, and then if you go back even further to like the 60s and the 50s, you were talking about something ridiculous like 9 rounds of the championship. I think when Fangio won in 1950, there was 9 rounds, and that was the championship. And 2 of those rounds were non-championship rounds as well. And Fangio won it with 7 rounds in a championship. Can you imagine that now? Blimey, 7 rounds of a championship. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the longest season of Formula One ever. So it's a bit of a milestone. Of course, it won't be next year because it will be the same 24 rounds unless something happens and one of the tracks has to drop out, of course. But I think that would be pretty unlikely. I have been sort of looking around the tracks and looking around the current state of the world right now to see if anyone would be missing. There's a few dodgy ones there, but I think they'll still be here for next year for another 24 round extravaganza. Yes, extravaganza. It's been a very long season, I have to say, very long season, and I said it back then. I'm still going to say it now. 24 rounds is way too many. Way too many. It should be a 20 round maximum. I prefer 18, but a 20 round maximum should be it, because 24 is just ridiculous. It really is. I say we got three back-to-backs now. We've got a little break in the middle of 2 weeks, and then we got another 3 back-to-backs for the end of the championship at Abu Dhabi, of course. Yes, so it's going to be fast and furious stuff now for the next 6 weeks or 7-8 weeks, however long it is before the championship finally finishes at Abu Dhabi. Of course, we've got a lot of American circuits now on the calendar until then, which if anyone watches the Channel 4 coverage, they will notice that, because Hinchcliffe is now doing the commentary at the moment, which is obviously is to bring in the American fans, to bring in an ex-driver, is basically why Channel 4 are doing this. So he will probably be there for all the American rounds. So I'm sorry if you're a Jolyon Palmer fan on Channel 4, but he may not be back until we get away from America, which I think is only going to be one round, isn't it, in Brazil? So, and Hinchcliffe might still be there as well. So yeah, that could be it for Palmer until next year. I know, I'm sorry, but that's the way it goes. Anyway, so there you go. I've been waffling on now for 16 minutes. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. As always, let me know in the comments what you think, and do you agree with me about what I was saying about Lando Norris? Should have just basically just let him go past and then tried again, because there were still 5 laps to go. I think that was just the sensible thing to do all round. That would have been a sensible thing, because as I say, at the end of the day, he would have, if he hadn't have done it, he would have ended up behind Max. Instead, he did a reckless move, ended up halfway off the circuit, got a penalty, and still ended up behind Max. So it was pointless, absolutely pointless. And surely McLaren their strategist, should have seen that, should have reacted to that straight away. They knew that if there was a penalty coming, he would have ended up behind him anyway. So as I say, they should have reacted, but as I say, very slow to react. So anyway, I've got to say congratulations to Charles Leclerc for winning the race. Charlie boy just proving once again that he's going to trounce over Lulu next year at Ferrari. I'm sorry to say it's going to happen. We know it's going to happen. Lulu, I mean, he just looks lost at sea at the moment. He looks like a ship sailing aimlessly. He looks like the Mary Celeste. He's there, but there's no one on board. There's no one on board for Lulu. Yeah, I think he's fed up. I think he's had enough. He's been at Mercedes now since 2013? 2014? No, 2013, wasn't it? Or was it 14? I can't remember. It's a long time ago. But he's been there a very long time. And I just think that he knows he's going to Ferrari. He wants to change. Everyone in life wants to change at some point. Nothing lasts. The same thing never lasts forever. And so, you go through life and these changes occur. He's getting a change next year when he goes to Ferrari. And I just think Lulu, he's just done for this year. And I think Mercedes, to be fair, are done as well. They've got no chance. I don't think they've got any chance. I haven't got the points with me, but I don't think they've got any chance of improving the position that they're in now. I don't think so. I know there was a slight chance of Lulu winning the championship. That's now gone because he came out of the race. Lewis Hamilton, I think if I'm right, it was only a very slim chance anyway. But there's no chance now for Lulu to win the championship, which was pretty to be expected anyway, because he was far too many points down. But he had a tiny outside chance of winning it. That's now gone because he didn't finish the race, so he got no points for that. He lost out on a potential, 12 10 points, which is usually where about he finishes in at 8 points, something like that. So he lost out on that. So yeah, it's game over for Lulu. One of the runners and riders has fallen, and that has to be Lewis Hamilton. So the only ones left in the fight for the championship now, I call it a fight loosely, because we all know Max is going to win it, is of course Lando Norris, Verstappen, and I think with that 25 points, I think Leclerc's in with an outside chance now as well, isn't he? I think Leclerc's in there. I think that's the only three that are in there. So I haven't got the points with me, so I can't look it up. And I don't want to bore you by looking it up, because I know you keep complaining every time I do, so I won't. But yes, I think Leclerc may be the other driver who's got an outside chance of winning the championship. So it's all still to play for. Yes, Max, he's not running away with it like he has been these past 2 seasons, which of course he could have been doing illegally if we want to believe about this little tea tray incident. Yes, little tea tray incident. Now let me get this right. There's a part in the car that you can be adjusted, but as soon as the parc fermé rules are in, you can't adjust it. No, it's locked off. And what we do is we put a little strap around it so that you can't adjust it. Yeah, a little strap. Now I'm sure anyone would be looking at that and saying, well, yeah, but you only got to get a pair of scissors and you can cut that strap off, can't you? And then that means you can adjust it. So have Red Bull been doing a little bit of creative management with their ride height for the past 2 seasons? I don't know, but it's gone to the FIA. They're now looking into it. So the right decision will be made going forwards, and we will see exactly whether it actually made any difference or not. Personally, I don't think it is. I don't think it's made any difference. I just think in terms of the Red Bull, the other teams have caught up, and their performance is just naturally dropping away because the other teams have caught up, because they've put on developments. It was already said by Christian Horner that some of the developments they put on the Red Bull clearly haven't been working. So yeah, the other teams have done well and they've caught up, and I think that's all it is. I don't think it's anything to do with tea trays and illegal ride height adjusters, but I do feel that if that is the case, and now the other teams have got this auto ride height adjuster which can't be adjusted during parc fermé because we put a bungee cord around it, that should be clarified, and that should not. If none of the teams have got it apart from Red Bull, it's only going to make all the conspiracy theorists go into overdrive saying, oh, they're cheating. So basically that system, which none of the other teams have got, should be removed from the Red Bull. There should be no part on that car that can make you alter the ride height. If none of the others got it, then Red Bull shouldn't have it either, and that would quieten down all the conspiracy theories. I mean, they're going to run with this now and have a field day, absolute field day. They're going to say that last year's championship, the year before's championship, all a fix, all a fiddle. I can hear one YouTube channel right now. He's probably already made 45 videos on this subject, and they'll be uploaded probably within the next 24 hours. All 45 videos. I can tell he's probably made them already. And so, that'll keep him going for about the next 4 years with, more conspiracies and more conspiracies and more conspiracies on top. Anyway, that's enough for me. I've thrown enough shade for one afternoon. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know in the comments, as I say, about the race. What do you think of the race? Do you think it was... I thought the race as a whole was okay. It was another sort of strategical race. There wasn't a lot of, battling going on. But I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. I have to say, it was pretty enjoyable, even though I only get the bloody highlights. But there you go. What can you do? Thanks so much for watching, everyone. You've been awesome as always, and I'll catch you in the next video.